Oh, I just almost made it. Not quite. Jump, jump. There. I'm on top of this bump. There we go. I was able, using level 3 jump and level 3 double jump, to get up on top of the giant red mushroom. Okay, we're going to learn how to do this today. And by this, I mean, welcome back to LewyT Amusement Academy Level 34. Yes, I said level. I like that better than part. Anyway, we're going to implement the double jump skill. So as you can see, we've got regular jump. And once you have regular jump, you can get double jump. So let's learn how to implement this in the code. Okay, the only script we're dealing with today is a new script, PlayerControls. And so I didn't call it double jump because I want this to do more than just the double jump. So I wanted to explain a couple things. The main issue that we face is that the player controls that we've implemented so far have been basically just downloading and using the third-person controller from starter assets. And that works great. It handles movement and jumping, but it doesn't actually have a double jump capability. So in order to add that, we had a few different options. We could try modifying third-person controller and just adding it in there. We could have done that, but then it's a big script that I don't want to add that to my list of scripts that I'm sharing with you because it's not my script. So I found a way to just add this functionality in my own script, and we'll see how this works. There's not that many using statements. We do have a couple of requirements. I can't remember if I've talked about this before, but RequireComponent, you put that at the top of your scripts, even above the class. And if somebody is using the script to add to a object, it will also require, and they can ignore it, but it will tell them that they also need another required component for this to work. So this player control script requires the third person controller because it's assuming that's what you're using, and it also needs a character controller on that same object. So this is just a regular mono behavior. We have a couple of serialized fields, and one is the maximum number of air jumps. So, the idea is you could have double or triple or quadruple. Now, we're not going to actually implement those additional jumps today, but we're going to build the functionality so that it can work if we were to want to allow that in the future. Right now, we're focusing on the double jump skill. So increasing the double jump skill doesn't give you more jumps. It just makes the double jump a little bit higher. We also have a air jump height. So both of those numbers are going to start off at 0, but then it will be tied in with our character skill system so that when we upgrade the double jump skill, it increases the jump height. So we're going to have a reference to third-person controller and character controller, and we also have a private integer of the number of jumps remaining. So once you jump, you can jump one more time, and then the double jump velocity is how high that second jump is, how much force it has, and then this double jump level is the actual skill level of the double jump skill. On the awake method, we're getting those components, the third-person controller and the character controller, and then we're also calculating the jump velocity. We want to give it a starting number, and that's just how fast that double jump is going upwards. In the update method, all we need to do is check if the third-person controller script says that we're grounded. That means we're actually touching the ground, and if that is the case, we will set our number of air jumps remaining back to the maximum number of air jumps. That means once we touch down, we can do another double jump. You can't do a double jump if you've already done one and you're still in the air. So here's a method, OnJump. And the OnJump method is called automatically by the third-person controller whenever we press the space bar. It uses the new input system, and it will implement a jump, and anytime we press it, it will call this method. The thing is, it will also call the method whenever you let go of the spacebar. So when you do a jump, you actually get 2 of these calls to this method. So the first thing we want to do is just make sure that this is not a release, but it's a press. So if it's not a press, then we return. Okay, once we confirm it's not a release event, then we're going to check the third-person controller grounded property, which just confirms if it's not grounded, meaning we are in the air, and we have air jumps remaining greater than 0, then we can execute an air jump. And that's another method we'll talk about later. In order to execute air jump, we need another special technique that is using something called, what is it called? Reflection is what the technique is called. So we have a method, and we're calling this method setPrivateField. This is a way that we can actually go into another script, set a variable to a value, even if that variable is not public, it's private. And we need to know the name, we need to know the object, we need to know the field name or the variable name, and we need to have the value that we're wanting to change it to. So to get a reference to the field, we use the object, and then we get the type of the object so that then we can get the fields of the object, or we just want to get the field that has that field name. And then we're using system.reflection.bindingFlags non-public. We want to get private fields, and then we're also getting the instance fields, not static fields. And then once we've got a reference to that field, we can say as long as the field isn't null, meaning that this expression worked, it actually found a field with that name on that object, then we will set the value of that object to that value. And basically we're using field.set, which sets the value of the field on the object to the value that we specify. I know that's kind of weird and complicated, but this is a weird workaround that we have to do when we want to modify a private field. Okay, so that's set private field, but then now we have execute air jump. Now, the first thing that we do when we execute an air jump is we reduce the number of air jumps remaining by 1. So air jumps remaining minus minus. And then we're going to use that set private field. We're saying the object is the third person controller. The field name is underscore vertical velocity, because that's a variable name in third person controller. And then we're going to give it the value of our jump velocity. And this is that value that we calculated at the top. And now that's all it takes to execute a double jump. Now we also have a method called upgradeDoubleJump, and you might recognize this style. We are increasing the double jump level, and this method is called from our skill tree on the double jump skill. There's the little plus button. When you upgrade that, it's going to run this method. So we increase the double jump level, and then we are also calculating the air jump height. So for the jump height for a double jump, we're calculating that based on what the normal jump height is, but it's not exactly the same. We're doing it, a 0.5, so 50% of a normal jump. And then using the air jump height, we can calculate that jump velocity using the same math that we used earlier, math.square root air jump height times -2 times gravity. Then we're checking if our double jump level is greater than 0. So here's the thing. Double jump, we want to only allow for double jumps. We're not adding triple jumps or quadruple jumps or anything like that at this time. So when we upgrade the double jump, we want to know whether or not our double jump is already greater than 0, going from 0 to 1, or is it already 1? And in that case, if it's already greater than 0, then our maximum air jumps is going to be equal. We're setting maximum air jumps with this ternary condition. So if maximum air jumps is equal to 0, then we'll go to 1. So maximum air jumps goes from 0 to 1. But if it's not equal to 0, meaning it's 1 or more, then we'll just leave it to whatever it is. We're not going to increase the maximum air jumps beyond 1 with double jump. Okay, so that allows for a double jump, but not anything else. Okay, that's all the scripting. But now we need to do a little bit of work in the Unity editor. So we're going to go to the player character, and we want to add the component. So we already have this third person controller. We already have a character controller. We have player character, but we want to add player controls. There we go. The max air jumps and jump height should both be 0. They default to 0, but if you modify them, then that's going to give your character the number of jumps and whatnot independent of our skill system. So I like to set them to 0 and let the skills increase. So to modify the skills, then we need to open up the player character in the hierarchy, open up the skill tree, find the double jump skill, and we're going to set the skill up action. We're going to increase that, and we need to, we're going to drag in player character to the object. And then for the function, we're going to go down to player controls and go to upgrade double jump. Okay, I think that's all there is to it. Okay, we're going to try this out. So right now I have no skill points. So I can't even upgrade anything, and I'm hitting space, but it's not jumping. So I'm going to go get some skill points. That should be enough. And I'm going to increase the jump skill. And I'm going to jump. All I'm doing is at one jump, I'm hitting space repeatedly, and I don't know if you can tell that, but I can't jump until I land back on the ground again. So if I do double jump, now I can jump while in the air. If I hit the jump again right at the top of the regular jump, it jumps quite a bit, I don't know, not significantly higher, but enough to be noticeable. So if I increase the double jump a little bit more, that second jump is just a little bit higher than it was before. So that's our increase of jump height. If I increase the regular jump, it is also higher, but the double jump is not higher. So if I increase double jump again, the regular jump was already higher. Now the double jump is a little bit higher. Okay, I believe I'm jumping high enough now that I might be able to jump over something fairly high, or jump at least up to something high, such as a tree. Ooh, not quite. Let's see. Oh, not quite. I can't quite jump onto the mushroom. Let me upgrade my regular jump so it's higher, and I have 3 and 3. And let's see what I can do. Oh, I'm on top of a bunny. Oh, I just almost made it. Not quite. Jump, jump. There. I'm on top of this bump. There we go. I was able, using level 3 jump and level 3 double jump, to get up on top of the giant red mushroom. Okay, that is our double jump skill implemented. Okay, thank you for watching LewyT Amusement Academy Part 34, Double Jump. As usual, you can get the source code from the GitHub just linked in the description. If you have a question or comment, join our Discord community to discuss, also linked in the description. If you learned something today, please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share the love with your friends, frenemies, enemies, and even your nemesis. Come back down to LewyT Game Lab where we learn to create digital life, and next time we will fix the skill tree connections for if the screen size changes.